Alright, we are back on Solo Leveling Arise, and today I actually want to take a look at the forum and kind of talk about a post that the devs have made in response to a survey we had about a week ago. So, like I said, about a week ago, I think we had a survey in regards to like story content that we had in Solo Leveling Arise, and they talk about some changes and potential nerfs that are coming in future updates. So, I want to go over there, I want to talk about it, and kind of see what you guys are thinking and saying in the comment section. So, let me know your thoughts on all this, and also, before we do begin, it is officially season 2 of the content creator program, so I would appreciate a ton if you guys went down there, use code Antho. I will be giving out a crap ton of codes during this season for season 2, so make sure y'all do support me. If you make any purchases, it would help me out a ton as well for more content and stuff. So yeah, I appreciate a ton. But let's kind of go over and talk about the survey. So like I said, about a week ago we did have the survey. So here we go. So we would like to provide an update on the survey conducted on 6/13 Thursday, which was 1 week ago. Despite the short period, we received an overwhelming 25,000 responses thanks to the enthusiastic participants of many players. We deeply appreciate your affection for the game. However, due to sheer volume of responses, the collection and analysis process is taking longer than expected. Okay, so kind of, if you guys remember, like I said, the amount of content that we have in game right now, they want feedback on it, right? So anytime the devs do release anything, and this is the thing I love about Netmarble, by the way, like they always want to make sure that the content they are releasing is just top tier and good for all players, and I love it, right? So here are the rankings from the first and second surveys regarding content and growth elements that hunters felt needed the most improvement. So top 3 content in these improvements is going to be story, gaze, and power destruction. And then the top 3 growth elements is going to be Jinwoo, Army of Shadows, and your artifacts. So we will consider these insights and strive to implement improvements as quickly as possible so that hunters can experience them firsthand. And then next they go into addressing the most frequently asked questions from the individual surveys and provide details on the improvements they are currently working on, which I love. So let's go ahead and talk about these, right? So in the story-related survey, we received numerous comments regarding the high combat power required and the difficulty of certain story stages. Many hunters have pointed out the excessive difficulty leading to prolonged stagnation in specific areas, and the challenges in securing trophies from already cleared dungeons, often requiring specific hunters or limiting the number of hits taken. Okay, at least they are acknowledging this. I'm pretty sure this is not the first time they have acknowledged this, by the way, but just because they are, I actually love this for them, because like this is by far the most dumb thing in the game, 100%. Okay, because not only are some of the fights like stupid hard, but also you have to like not get hit a certain amount of times, which I think is by far the most dumb thing ever. So the fact that they are acknowledging this again, I want to say I love them for this. So hopefully they do just completely get rid of it. That would be great. So we plan to adjust the required combat power, difficulty of stage mechanics, and the stats of monsters and bosses. Okay, so I mean, I'll take that for sure. Honestly, okay, what I don't want them to do is to make the game too easy, because believe it or not, I might be like one of the very few people that like it this way, but I actually prefer like the hard stages. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some stages in this game that are just like beyond stupid OP, right? And so, you know, lowering the difficulty of those stages, you know, would be helpful, but don't make it too easy to where just like, you know, anyone can take it, right? I'm free to play. You guys know that my account is completely free to play. I have not spent a single dime or dollar, so just being able to take on these hard fights in a free to play manner is actually pretty fun for myself, and I love the challenge. But again, don't make it so easy to the point to where, you know, just anyone can take it. Our goal is to ensure that new hunters can progress smoothly through the first 15 chapters and to adjust the overly challenging difficulty beyond chapter 15, which again I actually do like, because again after chapter 15 it does get pretty damn hard, and I'm not gonna lie, allowing for a more enjoyable story experience, so I will take that. Okay, what else? We also plan to make detailed adjustments to the trophy acquisition goals, such as clearing with specific attribute, forming teams with 2 more attribute hunters. Okay, I love that, so thank you. At least they are acknowledging it, and they do plan on fixing it, so that is actually a big W. Next up is going to be gates. So let's see here. We intend to proceed cautiously with the additional improvements to overall gate content, taking sufficient time or careful consideration. However, we aim to adjust the scale of early stage storylines and the extent of lower tier activity funds to help the new hunters adapt more comfortably to the game. Additionally, we plan to enhance the reward balance for gates below level 20. Okay, so for endgame players, this really isn't something we need to be too worried about, but for new players, or, you know, I guess returning players, this is going to be something handy, and allow them to kind of get more rewards out of it and just make it easier for them to play, which again I will take it, because you are going to get new players as time goes on, especially when we get to like the crazy OP hunters. Then this is going to be something that, you know, is going to be helpful for the game going forward, because again, a lot of new players, they don't want to struggle too much. So I think this is going to be super duper good for new players and returning players, which again, I definitely do see a lot of, especially when we get to like the 100-day celebration. By the way, I'm pretty sure we will be getting a lot of new players, because it's probably going to be Thomas Andre, right? So I'm actually pretty excited going forward there. And then instant dungeon and encore mission. So we have received similar feedback regarding difficulty and rewards for both content. Okay, so improving satisfaction with drop rates in instance and encore missions is currently on hold. Interesting. So given the recent update, including the new high-level artifacts, we prefer to monitor the situation further. Our goal is to provide enjoyable content that allows for diverse strategies and enjoyable hunter formation. Therefore, we aim to focus on planning directions that enhance the utility of additional artifacts you possess. Okay, so rather increasing the drop rates, they are making it so the artifact that we already have, they want to actually make it like have good usage, if that makes sense. Because there are some artifact sets that, like, to be honest, there really isn't a content that's meant for it, if that makes sense. Like, don't get me wrong, there are some hunters that do require a certain amount of artifacts, or not a certain amount, but certain sets rather. And so, you know, there are certain sets that just don't really see the day of light as much in comparison to, you know, maybe like toughness set or, you know, the crit sets or whatnot, right? So those are very popular amongst, you know, free to play and just like any player in general, because again, DPS. But I do feel like there are sets that need to be, I guess, rather not really buffed up, but kind of have a purpose for it, if that makes sense. So I like that they did say that we aim to focus on planning directions that enhance the utility of additional artifacts we already possess. So rather than increase the drop rates for it, then they are going to go ahead and make this better, which I actually do like. And then it may be difficult to proceed with skipping boss appearances. We are considering prioritizing adjustments in the power destruction to ensure that any skips do not disrupt the cinematic experience. While impressive repeated viewing of these screens may diminish their impact, we aim to explore options to minimize such occurrence by expanding the multiplayer play, potentially doubling the current scale. Ooh, I like that. I like that. So we are going to potentially be getting like double drops or like multiplay in this, which I actually like a lot. So that's actually pretty cool of them to do so. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, so not the biggest updates here, but still they are giving us updates, which I do like. So anytime the devs give updates on these things, I just get so excited for, because like I know I can kind of expect where they're at in terms of, you know, the game modes or content that they're working on. And so I was like, okay, rather than just be completely left in the dark, they are giving us like bi-weekly updates, which I absolutely love. So Battlefield Trials, as of the June 19th update, we have lowered the difficulty of player floor 35, which I did read about. In addition, we have created an environment where obtaining high-level artifacts is more achievable. Therefore, we plan to monitor the situation. Okay, so nothing new when it comes to Battlefield Trials, which again, really, this is more of like, this isn't like a thing you have to worry about as much, because it's only like a one-time clear reward. There's no time requirement, there's no season update or anything. It's just you beat it and that's it. That's pretty much all it is. So honestly, this is fine. I don't really need any update for this, because again, it's more of just like play at your own pace kind of thing, which the game is really more of a play at your own pace kind of thing. But especially when it comes to Battlefield Trials, this is especially play at your own pace, if that makes sense. So now let's go ahead and move on to Battlefield Time. Ooh, this is gonna be pretty interesting. Alright, so Battlefield Time Season 2 has now begun. We plan to continuously review and reflect interesting improvements to Battlefield Time. As a part of this effort, a patch was made through the 619 update to apply fighting spirit buffs to Jinwoo and Hunters, as well as adjusting monster stats, which I did read about, so that is here right now. Furthermore, we are considering reducing practice periods to minimize gameplay gaps. Since Season 2 has already started, implementing this change may take some time, so we will notify you in advance once the schedule is confirmed. Okay. So that's fine, because I know that the practice periods can be a little bit too long in my opinion. So I think by reducing this and just getting straight to the whole ranking part of it is going to be a little bit better. But to be honest, this isn't like anything, you know, I think a lot of players do focus on. But the fact that they are even acknowledging this too, by the way, like really goes to show you that they do care about this game tremendously. They want to make it like actually like perfect. So I am genuinely shocked they even are acknowledging this. Even just the practice periods for this game mode is crazy. But I will take it. I'll take it. Okay. So Battlefield of Chaos. It has been about 3 weeks since the update, and we received a lot of feedback regarding the difficulty due to high difficulty settings and low gem drop rates. So yes, this is something that I have been concerned about, because I am farming gems every day, like you should be if you are free to play especially. and the drop rates are really bad. So in particular, it seems that there are a lot of concerns about the difficulty after chapter 7, where rank 3 gems do appear, and the perceived unfairness of the drop rates for rank 3 gems. So additionally, since it is a dungeon based on attributes, there have been a lot of comments that setting up hunters according to attributes for smooth clearing is not easy under the current circumstance. So yeah, like free to play wise, if you don't have certain elements or whatnot, then you low-key are like fried, right? For pay to win, obviously you're not going to have any problem, but for free to play, it can be really difficult to get these rank 3 gems. And considering the fact that we do have rank 4, which you have to then upgrade using rank 3, is like, you know, getting these alone is already pretty tough. So I feel like getting or having an easier way, not really easier way, but just making a system to where we do obtain these just a tad bit easier or more often rather, I think it's going to be better for all players in general. Because again, endgame wise, you are trying to get to that rank 4 gem if you can, which I am struggling a lot on. So through the recent update, we have introduced multiplayer in the availability to purchase keys in Battlefield of Chaos, which we believe has slightly improved the acquisition rates and player progression. You're not wrong. So to further enhance this experience, we're preparing to introduce a mileage system, okay, where players can periodically earn additional gems based on their gameplay frequency. So the more you play, the more, or I'm sorry, the more you play, the more you will get these rewards because of this mileage system, which again is fantastic. Thank you. This is honestly really good. So they're not increasing the drop rates, which I'm fine on, but rather they are making it where, you know, the more you play, the more you will be rewarded. So I actually like that a lot. Again, not really showing bias towards like pay to win or free to play, but just making a system in general to where, you know, if you are, I guess, putting your time and effort, if that makes sense, into the game, you will be rewarded with the whole mileage system. So I actually like that a ton. This is a really big thing, believe it or not. It may not seem like a big thing, but I promise you, like, as time goes on, little by little, if you can get these, you know, sooner or more often rather, because of this mileage system, is going to go a long way for your account, I promise you. So we are aware of the challenges posed by the extended playtime, high difficulty, and the demand for various hunters, which creates burdens. So rest assured, our development team acknowledges these issues thoroughly, and we are committed to continuing improvements to provide a better gameplay experience in the future. Let's freaking go. I love that. Okay, next up, Power of Destruction. So many of you mentioned that gameplay feels repetitive due to same boss and patterns. Yup. And then you were concerned about the fatigue from ranking calculations and the perceived unfairness of tier 3 rewards being concentrated among top players. So to other content that needs further improvement or immediate improvements, we do not consider this to be an immediate improvement. We will try to share a specific way to develop it into more exciting content. Okay, so there you go. Honestly, that's not too bad. I don't really have a problem with this as of right now because I am free to play, so I don't expect to be top ranking, but you know, as time goes on, maybe I am able to get so. But if you do have a problem with Power Destruction, let me know in the comment section. But as of right now, I feel like it's not anything crazy. And then what is this? Sun Jinwoo. Okay, so many of you mentioned that Sun Jinwoo is not powerful as expected. That's crazy. However, considering the current stage of the story, many of you also have high expectations and for his further development. Additionally, there have been feedback that certain skills and stats are exceedingly superior, leading to a forced reliance on them, which you're not wrong. Okay, you're absolutely not wrong. Some skills and stats are just like crazy top tier in comparison to others, so I feel like maybe we can get like a buff on the others, maybe not a nerf, because please don't nerf these skills, like armor break for example. That's by far one of the best ones in the entire game, but maybe kind of giving like a buff towards the other ones would not be too bad. So many of you have also pointed out that acquisition of certain runes, blessing stones, and mana power is excessively difficult, which you are not wrong of. Okay, so we have already planned to rebalance Sun Jinwoo's skills. If our testing confirms that we meet our hunters' expectations, we will expect to introduce the changes in the next update. Interesting. So despite this, we acknowledge that the current implementations of Jinwoo may not be satisfying enough to difficulty our hunters are experiencing across various content. Interesting. So I hope that is more of a buff and not a nerf, because I would be very upset if they do so. So I wonder how they do plan on approaching Jinwoo's skills. Hopefully it is going in the right direction, but yeah, I will say though that first off, the drop rates for these are not easy, 100%. So Hopefully they do fix that, but also it's like some of the story content, especially for like after chapter 15, again, these fights do get extremely difficult. So, and you are like kind of just relying on like the same like 3 or 4 skills for Jinwoo, if I'm being honest with you guys. So hopefully they do fix that to where it's, you know, we kind of, because the thing was like with Solo Leveling Arise is like you get to make Jinwoo based on how you want him, right? There isn't like a certain meta. Right now there is a certain meta 100%, but I feel like, you know, if you do want to make it to where Jinwoo can kind of just be completely different amongst different players, and still able to take on the same amount of content, then I feel like they do need to buff up the other skills, because like some of them you just don't even use, you know, if I'm being honest with you guys. So hopefully they do fix that. And then when it comes to hunters, let's see, what else do we have? So we were reviewing the possibility of rebalancing Jinwoo skills and those of other hunters. If possible, we aim to implement these changes in the next update. Okay, so that's not anything crazy, so and that's fine. And then artifacts here, so they just did a big change to artifacts, so I'm really not expecting anything, so it doesn't seem to be anything anyways. So they're just saying that, you know, moving forward we will also work on solutions to improve the cost. So it's nothing crazy, because they did just do a big thing to artifacts, which, you know, I will take 100%. Next up for Army of Shadows, what do we have here? Alright, so Army of Shadows here. So after the 619 update, hunters extracting and using Tusk are increasing. So we expect an increase in gameplay and related to the gate system improvements and the reverse mode difficulties. So for now, we plan to consider expanding the sources of shadow traces and afterwards. Ooh, that's going to be good, because you don't get a lot of these as of right now. So increasing the duration of shadows for better performance on battlefield, and adjust shades consumption or the total amount of shades to increase the usage frequency of the shadows, which again, I will take that. So that is not too bad. And then that is pretty much it as of right now. But overall, I think this dev note was honestly really helpful, just to kind of see where they at in terms of different game modes, different pieces of content, how, you know, certain content is being, I guess, seen over at the headquarters for Netmarble. So this is honestly really good. This is not bad. But let me know your thoughts on all this, and I guess let me know what was your favorite part about this feedback from the devs, because again, anytime we get surveys, they do want to make sure, or like not really surveys, but anytime we do get new content, they want to make sure that it's top tier, right? So this is really good from them. I'm actually really excited. And yeah, hopefully they do fix some of the stuff. I'm very curious to see how they do plan on making Jinwoo, if they plan on nerfing them, buffing them. I think it is going to be more of a buff, the way they were mentioning and wording things, and I hope that it is. If it is a nerf, then I'll be very, very upset. But anyways, I'll end it there. Let me know your thoughts, and once again, do not forget to support your boy on Netmarble. I'd appreciate it a ton. I will be giving out a crap ton of codes for you guys, and a lot of free to play content to come. All right, on it there. Take care. Peace.